you have support. That's something that I never felt like I had. And feeling like I didn't have that, it made me nervous on making decisions. I did have support though, because when the shit hit the fan, my mom was the first one to come help me. It's just in my head, I was telling myself she wasn't gonna help me. So in my head, I chose not to do certain things, or I chose to stay around certain things because I thought I wasn't gonna have any protectors, and I did. But honestly, whether or not you keep the baby, this is all a part of your story. But if you do keep your baby, like I said, you have support. Nobody ever is going to 100% be like, oh, yeah, this is going to be great whenever they're going through something as traumatic as this. You're going through something really traumatic. So, of course, in your head, you don't just feel like, yes, I'm going to be cool, I'm going to be fine. But just remember, everything is a season for a reason. You go through every single season in your life for a reason. So, God's doing this for some reason. You're going to learn something from this that is of so much value that all the negativity ain't even going to matter no more. But the only way to get to that is to go through it. Go through it. And I'm not saying you have to go through the pregnancy, but I'm saying just go through this situation. Whether you end the pregnancy or not, going through this situation with your head held high is the best thing you can do, because if you let depression get to you, if you start, like abusing drugs or anything, I'm not saying that you will, but I'm just saying if you start hurting yourself, or if you stay with him just for the sake of it, if you do any of those things just to cope through this, you're not going to learn what you needed to learn, and you're going to come out a whole different person in a bad way. But if you go through it with your head held high, thinking positively, even though you don't know what's going to happen next, if you think positively, you're going to get positive results. Here in a year or two, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I almost killed my baby. And I'm telling you this from experience. I'm not just saying this to say it. I have a 2-year old about to be 3. She wouldn't be here if I would have went with my gut instinct. Her dad was physically abusive my whole pregnancy. I had just left a marriage when I started dating him, and he was already hitting on me. So, yeah, I didn't want to keep his baby. I didn't even want to tell him I was pregnant, but I told him I was pregnant. So after that, he would always tell me to have an abortion. He didn't want the baby, have an abortion. But now she's our light bright child, and she's his favorite one, and she looks the most like him. And he has hit me multiple times over her. Like like that is his favorite child. And outside of that, for me, she is such a blessing to my life. I did not know I needed a Rihanna in my life until I had her. Everything about her is just so delicate. She's so innocent. She's so sweet. The way that she talks is just like, even when she's being mean to people, she does it innocently, and it's so cute. She's the sweetest little thing ever. But I wouldn't have this experience with her if I would have ended my pregnancy. I wouldn't even knew that my life needed a second child. Now I got 4. But I thought I was cool with my 1. I wasn't gonna have no more kids, and I wound up pregnant 6 months later by a whole different guy. So I'm just saying, like, I'm telling my story so that you can understand, like, you're not the only person that's had to go through this tough decision. Yes, your circumstances are different than mine, but we went through that same decision. I had to think on this same thing. I teeter-tottered back and forth. I talked to people who were telling me that they have abortions all the time, and it's nothing. It's just a procedure. It's not even a baby. I've had people try to explain it to me like that, which I know is bullshit. But I almost let that get into my head, and I almost started to believe it just because I wanted to believe anything to help me be okay with killing her. I would have believed anything, but I couldn't. God wouldn't let me believe it. I tried to. I couldn't. So I kept her. It's a struggle, mentally and physically. But when you get out of it, you realize why you went through it. And I still didn't learn what I needed to learn after I had Rayana. That's why God gave me 2 more. So I'm telling you that so you can learn now if you don't want a big family. Now, I want a big family. Eventually, I would like to be married and have more kids. So I'm not fucked up about having 4 kids. I'm fucked up about having 4 kids by him, but I'm not fucked up about having 4 kids. I love how many kids I have. I just wish that I had a partner here to help me. I just wish that I had somebody to wake up to every day that actually gave a fuck about me. That's all I want.